Welcome back to My Book of Mormon with me, David Michael. This is episode 87 and episode 5 of the Pricey Pearl. Well, that's what we're doing, reading the Pricey Pearl. All right, so before we start reading it, Book of Moses again, the lovely Book of Moses, we got a lot of people to thank. So first off, I want to thank Conrad for his donation that he made to Taylor Scholarship. Thank you so much, Conrad. We also have a real Mimo. That would be real Mimo Patricia C. So Patricia, thank you so much. We also have a new priestess. That is Priestess Mary Ann. So Priestess Mary, thank you before for the donation that you made, and now you've joined the ranks of the priestesses. So congratulations and welcome. And then, believe it or not, we have ourselves a new Mimo prophet, and that is Prophet Jason Lane. Once again, just like Priestess Mary, Prophet Jason made a donation, decided wanted to stick around and stay on board. Now he's a prophet. So Prophet Jason, welcome. It's awesome, and thank you. And that's right, 2 weeks in a row, we have the lovely God music. And this time we have to thank God Alan Manning. So God Alan, you are awesome. And I've run out of ways to say thank you to all of you, because you guys just continue to step up your levels of generosity. And thank you so much, God Allen. I know what a large contribution, or what a large financial commitment is to reach this level. And, your willingness to help out your fellow Mimos in their times of need, whenever that might be, is awesome. And so thank you to all of you. You are fantastic, and I can't say thank you enough. Okay, so now I'm fired up to start the new show. I know last week I said I was going to try and do like a recap episode of my trip to Utah. I haven't done that. I haven't. I took notes, so I kind of I know, everything that I did and want to talk about. I just haven't gotten around to doing it. And so, sorry, that might happen. It might not. We'll see. It's tough for me with my life and family and all this stuff to squeeze this in. So, anyway, I'm going to do the, Pricey Pearl reading today. And, just for everybody I met in Utah and everyone that helped me out while I was in Utah, just huge thank you. If I never get around to doing the episode where I just talk about what happened, just know that from the bottom of my heart, thank you to everybody there that, received me with open arms and, really just kind of let me nerd out on all things Mormon, because it was a lot of fun. So, okay. So with that being said, it's, time to start reading the Book of Moses. Oh, actually, before we start, the interview that I did with John DeLynn at, Squatters Pub in Salt Lake City is, now available both on, the Mormon, just the audio of it, you can find on Mormon Stories podcast. It's one of the last episode. And then, also on YouTube. So I'll put the link to the YouTube if you want to see it in video. I'll put that as a link in today's show notes. It'll also be on the page that says David's guest appearances on the website, mybookofmormon.com, and so you can check it all out there. But all right, so let's start reading. We are on Moses chapter 8. Well, very exciting. And I think we're still talking about Enoch, right? He was God's boyfriend there. Okay, so chapter 8, verse 1. And all the days of Enoch were 430 years. Of course, they all lived for a long time. Although that doesn't seem like much, does it? Most of them are living like 900 something. So Enoch, young man, gotta tell you. And it came to pass, drink, that Methuselah, the son of Enoch, was not taken. What do you mean, not taken? That's weird. Not taken where? All right. That the covenants of the Lord might be fulfilled, which he made to Enoch. For he truly covenanted with Enoch that Noah should be the fruit of his loins. Ooh, okay. I have no idea what Noah has to do with Methuselah not being taken, but, okay, we'll just move on. And then it came to pass, drink, that Methuselah prophesied that from his loins should spring all the kingdoms of the earth, and through Noah, and he took glory unto himself. Huh. So, I guess what's happening is, Enoch was told, everything's going to come from your loins, and that was fine. But then Methuselah said, no, it's coming from my loins, which fair, because he's Enoch's kid. But for some reason, he's trying to take the glory unto himself. So, I don't know. I don't know how you do that. Like, what do you do? Like, there's going to be a descendant of mine that I'll never know because I'll be dead by then. It's going to be awesome and save the world through an ark or something. And somehow he's glorifying himself and saying that. I don't understand why Enoch didn't. But, okay, whatever. There came forth a great famine into the land, and the Lord cursed the earth with a sore curse, and many of the inhabitants thereof died. Well, thanks, God. Nothing more loving as a father to starve your children to death. When I think heavenly Father, benevolent Father, I think, someone that will curse the earth with a sore curse so that people will die of starvation. So, once again, God stepping up the level of cruelty that he is able to inflict on his children. What a great dad. Okay. And it came to pass, drink, that Methuselah lived 187 years and begat Lamech. And Methuselah lived, after he begat Lamech, 782 years and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Methuselah were 969 years. And he died. Well, he's gone. After 969 years, he's now dead. So, man, short life. Young man, what are you going to do? And Lamech lived 182 years and begat a son. And he called his name Noah, saying, This son shall comfort us concerning our work and toils of our hands. What? Because of the ground which the Lord hath cursed. All right, so he's saying Noah's going to comfort him after, God didn't have their back. He cursed all the land, so they're all starving to death, which is odd, because somehow they're living to be almost 1,000 years old, just fine. So weird. Right, I mean, how bad can this famine be? If you're living 969 years, it can't be that bad, right? Because typically, when you have a bad famine, I mean, like, babies are dying. So I just don't know how bad of a real famine this is. But for whatever reason, Noah's going to comfort everybody. Yeah. So he's just going to go around patting people on the head. Say, it's okay. I know you're starving. It's, I'm here to comfort you. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. And Lamech lived, after he begat Noah, 595 years and begat sons and daughters. And all the days of Lamech were 777 years, and he died. The old 777. Well, at least he hit that landmark. And Noah was 450 years old and begat Japheth. Japheth. Yeah. And 42 years afterward he begat Shem, of her who was the mother of Japheth. And when he was 500 years old he begat Ham. So they had to make sure and understand, I guess up until now, every time they had multiple kids, I guess it meant that it was different women, right? So they were just going around, sowing their wild oats all around town. But Noah liked this, the mother of Japheth, so much that he knocked her up again and had himself a second kid with the same wife. Man, that must have been really tough for him to, give up all that diversity and stick with the one lady for 2 kids. Now, I didn't mention that Ham came from the mother of just Japheth. So I guess he finally, 2 is enough, and he moved on to, some other, get some fruits from some other one's loins. Okay. And Noah and his sons hearkened unto the Lord, and gave heed, and they were called the sons of God. And when these men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, the sons of men saw that those daughters were fair, and they took them wives, even as they chose. Well, I guess the women didn't have much say. No. Yeah, if a man chose you, yeah, you're his wife. That's how that worked. So, bummer for them. But it's a good thing that they were good, righteous sons of God. Yeah, just going around stealing women against their will. That sounds, very holy. Well done, guys. And the Lord said unto Noah, The daughters of thy sons have sold themselves. What? For behold, mine anger is kindled against the sons of men, for they will not hearken to my voice. Wait, what's this now? They sold themselves. I don't understand that. Sounds like they're wives now. I don't think they sold themselves. I think they were, taken, but he's mad at the sons of men. Oh, whatever. God's mad. You can't keep track of why he's mad. He's mad at everyone all the time, and they rarely seem to know why. So, what are you going to do? Okay. And it came to pass, drink, that Noah prophesied and taught the things of God, even as it was in the beginning. And the Lord said unto Noah, My spirit shall not always strive with man, for he shall know that all flesh shall die. Yet his days shall be 120 years, and if men do not repent, I will send in the floods upon them. All right, so God finally said, you know what, people are just living too long. Well, we're going to cut that off. No one's going to live more than 120 ever. Yeah, done. That's great. Actually, I think someone's lived longer than that. I think so. Isn't there a French lady that lived to be over 120, I think? I don't know. I'll have to look that up later. But I think that, once again, we found a way to break, God's curses here. No, because I'm fairly certain that someone did indeed live beyond 120 post Noah, I guess. But anyway, okay. And in those days, there were giants on the earth. Sure. I want more of a description of these giants. Second time they've come up, they seem to be pretty proud of them, but we don't know anything about them. Who were they? Did they have, their own little society? Did they live together? You know what I mean? Did they have some sort of social structure? Were they just hunter-gatherers, just big giants? How big of a giant? Were they 7 feet tall or 20 feet tall? Give me more about these giants, but we're not going to get anything. We're just going to say giants. Why not? All right, and they sought Noah to take away his life, but the Lord was with Noah, and the power of the Lord was upon him. what does that mean? Like a giant comes and takes this big old giant club and swings it, and it just like, what? Doesn't hurt Noah? Does a giant fall over dead? Nothing. Just giants trying to kill Noah, and they can't because Noah had the power of the Lord. This is a terrible story. We need so many more details. That whole verse, that sounds like an entire story in and of itself. Giants chasing Noah, and Noah having this some sort of superpower. We get nothing. That's a bummer. Sounds like a fun story. Somebody write that. Can somebody write some fan fiction of the giants and the Noah fighting them off with his superpowers? That'd be a good story. I would read that. That sounds fun. Okay. And the Lord ordained Noah after his own order, and commanded him that he should go forth and declare his gospel unto the children of men. God, seriously, this doesn't work. Stop sending some old man out to talk to people. Whatever. He knows better. God, you know better than this. All right. Even as it was given unto Enoch, and it came to pass, drink, that Noah called upon the children of men that they should repent, but they hearkened not unto his words. Of course not. Well, I guess if we're doing this like chronologically, this would be a long time ago. No. So this is probably God's first realization that the whole sending some old man as a prophet and, telling him to repent doesn't work. Terrible marketing plan. And I guess this is kind of his first taste of that. So I guess we could forgive God now, like in this story. But later, millennium later, when he's still doing this, that's where God, you really can't forgive him for continuing to make the same mistake. All right, here we go. And also, after that they had heard him, they came up before him, saying, Behold, we are the sons of God. We have not taken ourselves the daughters of men. Have we not taken ourselves, what? The daughters of, I don't know what that means. Are we not eating and drinking and marrying and giving in marriage? And our wives bear unto us children, and the same are mighty men, which are like unto men of old, men of great renown, and they hearken not unto the words of Noah. Ooh. Okay, so it sounds like the people are saying, look, Noah, we're not doing anything wrong. We're fine. We're just being dudes, and we got our wives, and our wives give us kids, and we're doing, what's wrong? What's the problem? I think is what they're saying. I think they're confused about, like, what are we repenting for? Which is a fair question, I think, because they're basically saying, look, we're doing everything right. I don't get why you're yelling at us to repent. And God saw that the wickedness of men had become great in the earth. Again, why? I don't know. I mean, it sounded like they're just being normal. And every man was lifted up in the imagination of the thoughts of his heart, being only evil continually. Well, that doesn't make any... What does that mean? Evil continually. How exactly is eating, drinking, marrying, giving, having children that they raise to be mighty men, of great renown? I mean, they're doing, it just sounds like they're being, they're making a pretty solid society. And, God looks at it and says wickedness and, evil continually. That's, I don't know. I wish they would explain what they're doing to, justify such a, accusation, right? They're doing evil continually. Doesn't sound like anything they're doing is evil. All right, whatever. And it came to pass, drink, that Noah continued his preaching unto the people, saying, Hearken, and give heed unto my words. Believe and repent of your sins, and be baptized in the name of Jesus Christ, the Son of God. It's just comical to read this in, like, the Genesis story, right? All this Jesus Christ talk. I'm sorry, it's funny. Because, you know these stories, right? I mean, I do. I know all these stories from Genesis. Genesis, by the way, if you haven't read, from the Holy Bible, give it a shot. Genesis is a fantastic read. It is so full of insanity. I mean, seriously, Genesis is one of the most entertaining things you'll ever read. Just what the stuff Abraham does, or I guess at the time Abram, with his wife Sarah, is crazy talk. Crazy talk. I mean, he's like selling her into prostitution and getting rich doing it. And I'm telling you, that story is fan. Okay, so just read Genesis. You'll thank me. It's awesome. Okay, but now reading Genesis with Jesus thrown in, I don't know. It's like some poorly written fan fiction. You know what I mean? But anyway, whatever. It's funny. It's just funny. Okay. All right. So, Jesus Christ, Son of God, even as our fathers, and ye shall receive the Holy Ghost, that ye may have all things made manifest. If ye do not do this, the floods will come upon you. Nevertheless, they hearken not. Of course not. Because no group of people have ever just stood around and said, there's a crazy old man yelling. Let's all give him the benefit of the doubt and listen. It just doesn't happen. And it repented Noah. That's weird. I don't know what that means. And his heart was pained that the Lord had made man on earth, and it grieved him at the heart. Wow. So Noah's like, I'm so upset. I'm angry at God for making man. Noah, that seems a bit draconian, but all right. And the Lord said, I will destroy man whom I've created. Well, seems like a good solution. Sure. So you sent one old man in to yell at everybody, and it didn't work. So plan B is kill everyone. Yeah, God, that sounds right. Yeah. I mean, we all know that you're God and you can do anything. You can talk to these people any way you want. Doesn't have to be through an old man. You could just, anything. Open up the sky, come down, send some angels, have every person on earth visited by an angel. There's so many different things you could do. But no, you didn't listen to my old man Noah. So now death to you all. That's great. All right, so destroy man from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and the creeping things, and the fowls of the air, for it repenteth Noah that I have created them, and that I have made them, and he called upon me, for they have sought his life. Wow. So sounds like God's kind of saying, look, this wasn't my idea. Noah kind of was upset that I created all this stuff, so I'm doing my buddy Noah solid, and I'm just going to uncreate them. Right? I'm just going to uncreate everybody. Because the fowls of the air and all the creeping things, yeah, I'm sure they were also doing evil continually, right? Yeah, I'm sure that was the case, God. And thus Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord, and Noah was a just man. He's a just man. He just had a genie. So Noah has a genie named God. And genie's like, you got some wishes, Noah? What do you want? And Noah's like, how about kill everyone that's not my family? And God's like, done. And then we get Noah was a just man. Yeah, it sounds pretty just. And perfect in his generation, and he walked with God, and did also his 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. And the earth was corrupt before God, and it was filled with violence. Oh, now we have violence. Okay, so before they would seem like they were living okay. Now there's violence. I was still unclear why God would have a problem with violence. Seems like he kind of likes that stuff. Anyway, and God looked upon the earth, and behold, it was corrupt, for all flesh had corrupted its way upon the earth. All flesh had corrupted its way. I don't know. Maybe a lot of sex. I don't know. And God said unto Noah, the end of all flesh is come before me, for the earth is filled with violence, and behold, I will destroy all flesh from the earth. Okay. And that's the end of Moses chapter 8. And let's see. Oh, we're done. That's the end of Moses. Weird. Why do you have a book of Moses that Moses isn't in? Right? We only got up to Noah. We didn't even get into anything after that. That's, interesting. So now we have this book of Abraham, but, we have a very odd looking little, I don't know, sketch, I guess you call it. They call it a facsimile. So let me see if I can describe this. I recommend you guys go look this up. Otherwise, this won't make any context. It's called a facsimile from the book of Abraham. And, I assume this is the whole Abraham about to kill Isaac. Looks like. Got an altar, knife over him. Oh, wait. Okay, sorry. There's little numbers near these little sketches. And they have like explanation guide. Okay, so here we go. Figure number 1, which kind of looks like some sort of Egyptian bird. It says, the angel of the Lord. Okay. I wouldn't have guessed that, but fair enough. Number 2, Abraham fastened upon the altar. Oh, it's Abraham about to get killed. Well, this story, I guess we're in for a treat. I guess I don't remember Abraham being the one getting tied down to the altar. Okay. Let's see. 3, who is a dude standing... It looks like a feather in his hand, but I think it's supposed to be a knife. But anyway, it says, the idolatrous priests of Elenikana attempting to offer up Abraham as a sacrifice. Okay, fair. And it's also interesting that Abraham, very nice and white. And this evil priest, just black as the night itself. Yeah, imagine that. That's a shock. Okay, and then figure 4, which is this little table thing he's laying on, says the altar for sacrifice by the idolatrous priest standing before the gods of Enanahanana, Libana, Malakalamakana, Korash, and Pharaoh. No, I'm not going to try and pronounce those right. And then 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 looks like just those gods themselves, little statues. I'm not going to repeat them, but the Elaka, Libana, those guys. Okay. Then figure 10, which just looks like some leaves, says Abraham in Egypt. I don't know how you get there from some leaves. Weird. Okay, that's Abraham in Egypt. 11, which is like just some little boxes on the bottom, designed to represent the pillars of heaven as understood by the Egyptians. Okay, and then 12, which is it's like, I guess, a carpet they're standing on, something like that, I guess. It says, let's see, Raukening Yang, signifying expanse or the firmament over our heads. What do you mean over our heads? They're standing on it. What the hell? But in this case, in relation to this subject, the Egyptians meant it to signify Shanumao, to be high, or the heavens, answering to the Hebrew word Shalmahayim. Oh, okay, I don't know what this is doing here, but there it is. It looks, seriously, if you see it, it looks like, I don't know, a 5-year-old had a pencil and started doodling, and this is what we got. And then someone just started, like, trying to put stuff under it to make sense of it. And I don't know. What is it? What is this doing here? I mean, I'm assuming that we're going to get this story in the book of Abraham, but that is pretty strange. It has kind of, like, again, Egyptian-ish feel. I mean, I've seen actual Egyptian hieroglyphs, and they're much more intricate than this. So this is, I don't know, like I said, it kind of looks like maybe like a drawing from art class in ancient Egypt. You know, some little kid drew this, and I don't know, weird. This started off a bit strange, and it is what it is. So that's facsimile 1. That and I remember in the table of context, I think there's 3 of these facsimiles. But that was the first one that's going to start the book of Abraham for some reason. So great. All right, let me, I usually don't do this, but I do want to know what it is we're reading, right? So, let's see. It says the book of Abraham translated from the papyrus. Okay. By Joseph Smith, a translation of some ancient records that have fallen into our hands from the catacombs of Egypt. Huh. Do we still have them? Is that, like, I don't understand why Joseph Smith would need to interpret it. Like, if we had some papyrus from some ancient catacomb in Egypt, wouldn't it be an Egyptologist that would be translating them for us? I don't understand why, or even how Joseph would be able to do it, but I guess he does have those magic rocks. Anyway, the writings of Abraham while he was in Egypt, called the Book of Abraham, written by his own hand. Well, upon papyrus. Okay. Well, I'm definitely glad I read that intro. Man, those are some pretty profound things that were just said there. Okay, so first off, okay, and I might be wrong about some of these dates, so forgive me, but I think the oldest, like written documentation that we have of anything biblical are the Dead Sea Scrolls, right? And they were somewhere around 100 BCE written, somewhere in that time frame, 150 BCE, something like that. So this is saying that this is from the actual time of Abraham, which was, if I remember right, I mean, this is, by the way, wildly disputed, but somewhere around 2000 BCE, somewhere in that time frame is when this story was supposed to have taken place. And then not only that, but I mean, so first of all, you now, there's a claim here that there's a written document on papyrus that's over 2,000 years older than our oldest surviving document, which is, fantastic. Like, why would this not be, studied across the world and in every major university? This would be one of the biggest archaeological finds of our time. Like, it would be. And not only that, most biblical scholars today truly believe that Abraham was not an actual historical figure, right? I mean, I think most of them are kind of, yeah, this is a story. You know what I mean? Just a legend kind of thing. But no, this is saying that this was written by Abraham himself, which is amazing. Like, that would actually say that no, all the historians are wrong. Abraham not only is a real dude, but here are his own words. This is wow, right? The fact that this is just some side note in a book called The Pearl of Great Price is it's just ludicrous. I mean, wow. That's blowing me away. That little intro blew me away more than the facsimile. So I am not. I would really like to know, how did Joseph Smith, get a hold of this thing, this greatest archaeological find of the last several hundred years, somehow falling into Joseph Smith's hands, and he gets to translate it, even though he has, absolutely no background in translating ancient works or understanding their context. No, he's got them. Okay. Wow. Just wow. This is great. Okay. So far we're off to a very credible start with the Book of Abraham, written by Abraham. This is great. Okay. So here we go. Chapter 1, verse 1. Here we go. In the land of the Chaldeans, or Chaldeans, I think it's Chaldeans, at the residence of my father, I, Abraham, I'm sorry. Oh, I don't know why that's making me laugh so much. It's just so funny to see, like, yeah, me, Abraham, I'm writing this. Oh, okay. Saw that it was needful for me to obtain another place of residence. Okay. This is how you start every story. This is like his diary. This is really what this is, right? That's what it sounds like. And finding there were greater happiness and peace and rest for me, I sought for the blessings of the fathers and the right whereunto I should be ordained to administer the same, having been myself a follower of righteousness, desiring also to be one who possessed great knowledge, and to be a great follower of righteousness, and to possess greater knowledge, and to be a father of many nations, prince of peace, and desiring to receive instructions. Good grief. This is a hell of a bucket list you got, Abraham. Really small ambitions here. He wants to just have more knowledge than anyone, be more righteous than anyone, to be the father of many nations, the prince of peace. Let's see, desiring to receive instructions and to keep the commandments of God, I became a rightful heir, a high priest, holding the right belonging to the fathers. Wow. Okay. So because he had all these great ambitions, he became a high priest? I don't know. It was conferred upon me from the fathers. It came down from the fathers from the beginning of time. Yea, drink. Even from the beginning, or before the foundation of the earth. Before the foundation of the earth. Down to the present time, even the right of the firstborn, or the first man, who is Adam, or first father, through the fathers unto me. Wow, Abraham, I don't know what you've been drinking, but you sound wasted. What are you talking about? He's like, he's basically trying to say, I'm a high priest, and I know I'm a high priest because, priesthoods have been around for a long time, and, it's mine now. Yeah, I guess. That's kind of what it sounds like. He's just trying to make this case that he's high priest, and these mysterious fathers gave it to him, whoever the fathers are. Ooh, just weird. I sought for mine appointment unto the priesthood according to the appointment of God unto the fathers concerning the seed. See, I don't, what are the fathers? And I don't know. Just look, Abraham, I'll give it to you, okay? You can be high priest. I don't care. You could be king of Disneyland. I don't care what you call yourself. But if you want to be high priest, you can be high priest. Okay, Abraham, you're high priest. It's fine. But I don't think he's done making this case. My fathers, having turned from their righteousness and from the holy commandments which the Lord their God had given unto them, unto the worshipping of the gods of the heathen, utterly refused to hearken to my voice. Now I'm super confused. So it said that he got the priesthood from the fathers, but the fathers were wicked. Strange. I thought he was making a case for why he, was justified in being this high priest, but now it sounds like he got the priesthood from heathens. So that's I don't know how that's supposed to help his case. But anyway, okay. For their hearts were set to do evil, and were wholly turned to the god Elkanah, okay? And the god of Lebanon, and the god of, these are the gods that were in that facsimile, right? The god of Malahalakra, and the god of Korash, and the god of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. All right. Therefore they turned their hearts to the sacrifice of the heathen in offering up their children unto these dumb idols. Sorry. It's just funny. You're dumb idols. You're stupid idols. I mean, I know I just breezed past the part where they're like sacrificing their children to them, but still, it's just funny. You call them dumb. You dumb idols. Okay. Hearken not unto my voice, but endeavor to take away my life by the hand of the priest Elkanah. The priest of Elkanah was also the priest of Pharaoh. Well, that's weird. So, sounds like this other priest serving many gods there. Now this time it was the custom of the priest of Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, to offer up upon the altar which was built in the land of Chaldea for the offering unto these strange gods, men, women, and children. And it came to pass, drink, that the priest made an offering unto the god of Pharaoh, and also unto the god of Shagreel, and even after the manner of the Egyptians. Now the god of Shagreel was the sun. Okay, wasn't the sun god named Ra? I thought so. And do not call me an Egyptologist by any stretch, but I do know something about ancient Egypt, and I don't recall human sacrifice being a part of their doctrine at all. Right? I mean, wasn't that more, if you look in ancient times, I thought like maybe the Aztecs did that, I think, but I don't remember the Egyptians doing it. So maybe they did. I don't know. Well, Abraham's saying it happened, so it must be true. There you go. Even the thank offering of a child did the priest of Pharaoh offer upon the altar which stood by the hill called Potiphar's Hill at the head of the plain Olishem. I don't know why he's giving us all these details, but all right. I mean, we have to know exactly where this hill is, and then the plane of, like, what difference does it make? Shouldn't you be more focused on the fact that they're killing children than where it's taking place? But all right. Now, this priest had offered upon this altar 3 virgins at one time, who were the daughters of Onita, one of the royal descendants directly from the loins of Ham. Okay, well, that's not good. 3 virgin daughters, and they're royal daughters, so like princesses or something. Bummer. These virgins were offered up because of their virtue. They would not bow down to worship gods of wood. No, they didn't want any wood at all. That's why they're virgins. Okay, or of stone. Therefore, they were killed upon this altar, and it was done after the manner of the Egyptians. All right, so this doesn't sound as so much like a sacrifice as much as it sounds like an execution. Yeah. So they were told to worship some wood or stone gods, and they're like, we're not going to do it. And they're like, we'll kill you. And that's what happened. Okay. So the fact that they were virgins almost seems irrelevant, but I don't know, makes it a little bit more fun. Fun little detail. And it came to pass, Drake, that the priests laid violence upon me, that they might slay me also, as they did those virgins upon this altar, and that you may have a knowledge of this altar, I will refer you to the representation at the commencement of this record. Okay, yeah, you told us about the altar. That's fine. Or does that mean the picture? Oh, yeah. I think the representation is that weird facsimile. Okay. That helps. Thanks, Abraham. That cleared it all up for us. Okay. It was made after the form of a bedstead, such as was had among the Chaldeans. I keep saying that wrong. And it stood before the gods of Elkanah. Oh, God, with these. Elkanah, Lebanon, Malakalarah, Korash, and the god unto that of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Okay. That you may have an understanding of these gods, I have given you the fashion of them and the figures at the beginning. So helpful. Which manner of figures is called by the Chaldean Rahalinos, which signifies hieroglyphics. Okay, I'm sorry. This doesn't look anything like hieroglyphics. I'm sorry. I don't know what a Chaldean Rahalinos is, but no. I'm sorry. Look, I can't read hieroglyphs, but I've seen them, and they don't look anything like your facsimile, Joe. Sorry. They don't. I'm sorry, not Joe. Abraham. Sorry. I forgot. For a second there, I thought Joseph Smith was writing this. Silly me. I keep forgetting it's Abraham. Okay. And as they lifted up their hands upon me, that they might offer me up to take away my life, behold, I lifted up my voice unto the Lord my God, and the Lord hearkened and heard. And he filled me with the vision of the Almighty, and the angel of his presence stood by me, and immediately unloosed my bands. Well, this is great for you, Abraham, but it's funny that those 3 virgins were being killed for their righteousness, and God just totally ignored them. He's like, nah, whatever. Let them die. I don't care. And then Abraham's like, God, I love you too. And he's like, oh my God, it's a dude. Everybody, hurry, save him. Angels, get down there, save him. It's a man. Didn't care about the women. They can get killed, but don't let a man get sacrificed. Heavens no. All right. And his voice was unto me, Abraham, Abraham, behold, my name is Jehovah, and I have heard thee, and I have come down to deliver thee, and to take thee away from thy father's house, from all thy kinsfolk, into a strange land which thou knowest not of. Okay, well, I don't think this is, Abraham's going to be too upset about this, because the chapter started out with him saying he wanted to get the hell out of there, and so, looks like God's going to give him his wish. All right. And this because they have turned their hearts away from me, to worship the god of Elkanah, and the god of Lebanon, and the god of Malaharakah, and the god of Korash, and the god of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. They're proud of these gods. Are they supposed to be real gods? You know, they're saying that they're gods. They're not saying that they're like false idols. I mean, God is actually referring to them as gods, right? So this is like his competition up in, spirit world, I guess. Otherwise, God wouldn't call them gods, would he? Doesn't seem so. And also, he didn't just say, I am God. He said, I'm Jehovah. So it's just like, he sounds like just another one, right? There's Jehovah, there's Elkanah, there's Lebanon, you know what I mean? Korash, and Jehovah. Yeah, he's just one of them. So, there you go. It doesn't sound like he's that special. What are you going to do? Okay. Therefore, I've come down to visit them, and to destroy him. Wait, to visit them? Goodness, is God visiting the other gods? Maybe. I mean, I suppose. They probably have some, like, God conferences, right? They get together, have a little chat, see what's going on. Okay. And to destroy him who hath lifted up his hand against thee, Abraham, my son, to take away thy life. So he's like, whichever one of you gods were trying to kill my Abraham, we have a problem. We're going to have a little God war. No. Behold, I will lead thee by my hand, and I will take thee to put upon thee my name, even the priesthood of thy father, and my power shall be over thee. So, I don't know. God's going to make him a priest. I thought you already said he was a high priest. I don't know. Whatever. Abraham, priest. Can we just make Abraham a priest and be done with it? You know, this is getting boring. And it was with Noah, so shall it be with thee. But through thy ministry, my name shall be known in the earth forever, for I am thy God. Right. He's not the God. No, he's Abraham's God. Jehovah. That's great. Behold, Potiphar's hill was in the land of Ur, and Chaleda. Ur was in Chaleda. Got it. Okay. And the Lord broke down the altar of Elkanah and the gods of the land and utterly destroyed them and smote the priests that he died. And there was great mourning in Chaleda and also in the court of Pharaoh, which Pharaoh signifies king by royal blood. Okay. Now this king of Egypt was a descendant from the loins of Ham and was a partaker of the blood of the Canaanites by birth. Ooh. I'm so confused. All right, so here we go. Let's go back a bit. So first of all, God was really pissed at the other gods, and he killed them all. So I guess there was some sort of God war, and Jehovah seems like he won, or at least he's claiming that he did. So I guess there's going to be no more talk of any other gods because he just seems like he wiped them all out. And then it got weird. So it's saying that the king of Egypt came from the loins of Ham. But Ham was a partaker of the blood of the Canaanites by birth. What? What are you talking about? Ham was Noah's son. So, did Noah bang some Canaanite woman? Is that what that means? And now Ham had was he half Canaanite or something? And that's what the king of Egypt was? I don't know. It's kind of what it sounds like. I don't know how, unless he just drank the blood of a Canaanite, a partaker of the blood. But it's just by birth. Yeah, he must have a Canaanite mom. Yeah, it must be. Or Noah wasn't really his dad. I don't know. One of the two. Oh, well, whatever. Is this how, there's still black people around? Is this what it's trying to explain? Maybe. Could be. I don't know. All right. From this descent sprang all the Egyptians, and thus the blood of the Canaanites were preserved in the land. Yeah, I guess so. Somehow Ham had Canaanite blood in him. We don't know how, but he did. Assumably from his mother. Since his dad was supposed to be Noah. And now that's explaining. That's where Egyptians came from. Oh, okay. Well, that explains one group. There's a whole other set of, ethnically diverse people, more than just the Egyptians. But at least we understand where the Egyptians came from. So there you go. Fair enough. Okay, the land of Egypt first being discovered by a woman, who was the daughter of Ham and the daughter of Egyptus, okay, which was in the Chaldean signifies Egypt, which signifies that which is forbidden. Man, a lot of signifying going on here. All right, so this daughter of Ham, we don't know her name. She's a woman. She doesn't get a name. She was the daughter of someone named Egyptus, which means forbidden, and so they called it Egypt. Weird. Okay, so Egypt means forbidden. Okay. When this woman discovered the land, it was underwater. How did she discover it then? She a scuba diver? Okay, who afterwards settled her sons in it. What do you mean you settled her sons in it? It's underwater. Oh, weird. And thus from Ham sprang that race which preserved the curse in the land. All right, they really are trying to explain how some people's skin is still dark, is really what this all sounds like. But that was pretty outrageous. She discovered the land when it was underwater, and then she put her sons to live there. That adds up. Yeah. Now the first government in Egypt was established by Pharaoh, the eldest son of Egyptus, the daughter of Ham, and it was after the manner of the government of Ham, which was patriarchal. Pharaoh, being a righteous man, wait, what? Pharaoh's righteous now? That's first. Established his kingdom and judged his people wisely and justly all his days, seeking earnestly to imitate that order established by the fathers in the first generations, in the days of the first patriarchal reign, even in the reign of Adam, and also of Noah his father, who blessed him with the blessings of the earth and with the blessings of wisdom, but cursed him as pertaining to the priesthood. Okay, we gotta back up. Seriously, back up. All right, first of all, they're talking about governments of Egypt, and this is supposed to be the son, right? Or like the first and second generation of Noah. So we are talking about, at best, right, a guy with his family, right? His kids and grandkids. And somehow he's forming a government that he's, establishing this kingdom and judging his people wisely and justly. It's like, okay, you got some kids and grandkids. I don't know that you can call that a government or a kingdom. But that's, how many people can there be? God just wiped out the entire earth. So, I don't know. It's like, good for you. You're the pharaoh of a dozen people. Woohoo. It's funny. All right. But then it got a bit weird because, he was talking about he got all the blessings, but he was cursed pertaining to the priesthood. So that's interesting. Let's keep reading now. The Pharaoh being of that lineage by which he could not have right of priesthood. Yeah, notwithstanding that pharaohs would fain claim it from Noah through Ham before my father was led away by their idolatry. Okay, so I'm pretty sure what that just said is that, of course, the pharaohs couldn't be priests. I don't care how righteous they are. This is sick, right? So here we have a guy being a righteous man, doing everything right, totally, getting all, and God's so happy with him. He's given him all these blessings. He's given him wisdom, but you can't be a priest. And he's like, wait, what? Why can't I be a priest? He's like, I mean, look in the mirror, dude. You're not white and delightsome. Look, you're just not. So how can you be a priest? Come on. That's what it's saying. Because, it's just because of his lineage. So because he was from this, cursed, Canaanite guy from forever ago, he can't be a priest. That seems fair. Way to go, God. You actually admit he's doing everything right. No priest for you, you darky. Get out of here. That's lovely. Love this book. This is so uplifting. Gives me a warming in my bosom. But I shall endeavor hereafter to delineate the chronology running back from myself to the beginning of the creation. Oh God, please don't. No, Abraham, I don't care at all. Please do not give me your chronology. No, I don't want it. Okay, here we go. For the records have come into my hands, which I hold unto this present time. Great. Now after the priest of Elkanah was smitten that he died, there came a fulfillment of those things which were said unto me concerning the land of Chalida, whatever. I'm never going to say that right. That there should be a famine in the land. All right. So, okay, we got rid of the bad guy, and so God decides to celebrate getting rid of this evil priest by causing a famine. Once again, awesome. Accordingly, a famine prevailed throughout all the land of Chalida, and my father was sorely tormented because of the famine, and he repented of the evil which he had determined against me to take away my life. Whoa. So, okay, out of nowhere, Abraham's dad wants to kill him. Huh. Maybe you think that maybe stuck in him a little? That repressed that memory a little? Because next thing you know, Abraham's dragging his son up there to kill him? Maybe. All right. But the records of the fathers, even the patriarchs, concerning the right of priesthood, the Lord my God preserved in mine own hands. Therefore a knowledge of the beginning of the creation, and also of the planets, and of the stars, and they were made known unto the fathers, and I kept even unto this day, and I shall endeavor to write some of these things upon this record, for the benefit of my posterity that shall come after me. Okay, so I think Abraham just said that he is going to explain to us everything. He knows all about all the planets and the stars and how they were made and why they were made, and then and he's gonna clear up this whole priesthood thing once and for all as well. And I think that's what's coming next. But you know what? I think we're going to end it now. I don't know if I want to get into another chapter. I mean, that seemed like a good place to stop, right? Good little cliffhanger, because sounds like it's about to get pretty fun. What are you going to do? So that's the end of this episode. We finished up the book of Moses, which had nothing to do with Moses, oddly enough. And now we're reading the book of Abraham, which seems to have a lot to do with Abraham. So the naming of these books, a little bit odd, hard to make sense of it. But what are you going to do? All right, so everybody, don't forget, if you haven't already, to check out the YouTube of my interview with John DeLynn on Mormon Stories Podcast. It was a lot of fun. And again, it was a lot of drinking. We had a drinking game during the interview, and it got a little rough. But anyway, it was fun. And hopefully everybody checks that out. And with that being said, you guys just keep being awesome. You just, every day, you get a little bit more awesome, and I get a little bit more shocked. So keep doing that. It's amazing. And all right, until next week, goodbye.
This song is licensed for use within this podcast. All song and copyright information can be found at www.mybookofmormonpodcast.com.